Welcome to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the work of ministers of government as they push the administration's development agenda. The last week ended with the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security hosting its We Lift 2 exhibition at the Artichon Conference Centre. The event was held in recognition of the innovation and empowerment of women. The event also coincided with International Women's Day. Minister Dr. Vindhya Prasad said everyone has a role to play in gender equality.
We Lift is exactly what it suggests: lifting up women, elevating women, empowering women, engaging women, and bringing us all together so that we can do all of these things. We live in a country where gender equality is not just a terminology, it's an active mission for all of us in this room, beyond this room, and right across the length and breadth of Guyana.
Also on Saturday last, a table tennis academy was launched targeting youths between the ages of 6 and 16, orienting them into the sport. The initiative was undertaken through a collaboration with the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport and the Guyana Table Tennis Association.
When we take the time to do this, it's not because we want to drive the attention towards ourselves. Sport is very important for the country. It's very important for you as young people because that's where you get a lot of your skills and disciplines and learning how to work with each other and understand each other.
Minister Ramson said government will work with stakeholders to ensure development of sports in Ghana to a level that can be admired.
From our end, what really matters to us is consistency. Seeing that the space that's being allocated, the time that's being allocated, that it's being used at all times or at all possible times. Before, it used to be the case that when we wanted to use these facilities, it would come with a fee. We have waived fees for the usage of our facilities for the Sports Academy.
Operation Cleanup continued last week on the East Coast Demerara. The campaign, started by the private sector to beautify the city, has been fully supported by the government and has since been adopted by communities countrywide. Leading the exercise were Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Senior Counsel Mohaber Anil Nanlal, and Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony. Communities cleaned include Buxton, Enterprise, Enmore, Vryslust, Better Hope, and several others along the East Coast corridor.
This exercise can unify and unite our people. I don't think any segment of our population would want to tolerate a dirty environment. We are Guyanese. We were brought up in a particular cultural environment. All of us were told as young children growing up that cleanliness is next to godliness. Irrespective of which political party you support, irrespective of which ethnic group you belong, that is a seminal Guyanese principle that was taught to us by our parents and foreparents. And you are seeing now that Guyana coming out on this initiative started by the President, and the expression of support that you are seeing here obviously goes beyond all type of barriers.
We like to appeal to residents to come out and join this campaign because at the end of the day, it's keeping your community clean. And when we clean a particular area, I think it's very, very important that we maintain that cleanliness. Persons living in the community, we also have to adopt a different attitude, and we have to talk to people when we see them throwing away a plastic bottle or a wrapper or something. We have to talk to them that this is not the right thing to do. They need to dispose of their garbage in a more appropriate manner.
Scores of women and men marched along Main Street, Georgetown on Sunday in observance of International Women's Day. Among them were First Lady Mrs. Arya Ali, Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water Susan Rodriguez, and members of the diplomatic community. Addressing the gathering, Mrs. Ali said government will ensure women empowerment by providing opportunities for women and girls to acquire knowledge and skills in every area possible. The Ministry of Legal Affairs, in collaboration with the University of Ghana on Monday, launched a new Certificate in Advocacy and Evidence for Summary Courts Prosecutors program to ensure victims of criminal offences benefit from effective representation. The program was launched at the George Walcott Lecture Theatre. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Senior Counsel Mohamed Anil Nanlal said prosecutors play an important role in the justice system.
Justice is not a one-way street. Justice has two sides. It has the public's interest. It has the victim's interests. It has the state's interests. All amalgamate and become the responsibility of the prosecutor to preserve, protect, and advance.
The course comprises 71 individuals who have attained their bachelor's degree in law from UG but did not further their legal education at any of the regional law schools. This program would also ensure a prosecutor is placed at every magistrate's court in the country. 22 secondary school students will be selected to participate in the second Ghana Youth Leadership Development Competition. This follows the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding on Monday between the Ministry of Education and the Embassy of the People's Republic of China in Guyana. Education Minister Dr. Priya Manikchan noted that it will assist the ministry in achieving its goals of creating well-rounded individuals capable of contributing to Ghana's development.
We have committed to making sure everybody has equal access to the program, and so that there are no pockets where people couldn't access it because we didn't get it to them. And this helps us this year also to refocus post-recovery. We believe anything that contributes to making our students more whole and more conscious of being rounded with academics as well as extracurricular and life skills would be a useful enterprise.
Close to 2,000 residents in Region 9 are now benefiting from first-time access to potable water following the commissioning of 4 new wells in communities in the North and South Rupununi at a total cost of over $100 million. The wells were officially handed over to the communities of Arnaputa, Wawetta, Ruperti and Shulanab by Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, and Minister of Housing and Water, Colin Crowell.
This oneness is not only an emotional concept revolving around unity. One Guyana is also a concept that is committed to ensuring that development, economic and social development, is delivered to each and every community and each and every Guyanese life. Minister
Crowell announced that this year a total of 5 wells will be drilled in Region 9 through GWI at a cost of $450 million. Another well will be drilled in the region by the Regional Administration in Sand Creek and another by BNTF in Surama.
Already, from let's say about 19 months into office, so the period for which we are now, in region number 9, we have already completed 8 new wells with distribution systems. In the hinterland itself, the intervention by this PPPC government has seen expenditure to date in just over a year and a half to close to $1 billion in intervention for new systems for expanded distribution of water across the hinterland regions.
The Ministry of Health, in collaboration with PAHO WHO, has launched a workshop to address neglected infectious diseases in Guyana. Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, said the 2-day workshop, which began earlier in the week, will focus on crafting guidelines that will see 5 of these diseases being eliminated by 2030.
We have had a plan in the past, and we have been working that plan. But now we want to make sure that not just that we work the plan, but that we ensure that we can eliminate these diseases before 2030.
Government will be providing the necessary resources and financing for this initiative. Several farmers have benefited from the distribution of quality genetic piglets, which will remarkably increase swine production countrywide. The distribution was done in the compound of the Guyana Livestock Development Authority, GLDA, Monrepo on Wednesday. Guyana's pork production currently stands at about 890,000 kilograms per year. With investments being made in the subsector, Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa believes by December, productions can improve by another 400,000 kilograms.
Because right now our country is moving apace in investment, and we will be challenged to produce the food for the various sectors, the other sectors in the economy. We are seeing that the oil and gas sector is taking form. We are seeing more and more people coming to this part of the world, coming to our country.
Last year, government started work to construct a swine abattoir. GLDA also plans to construct a modern biosecure swine facility. Meanwhile, small-scale farmers in rural communities can now enhance production with the donation of over $6 million in farming equipment. The items were delivered on Wednesday to the Minister of Agriculture, Zulfikar Mustafa, by the Chief Executive Officer of Countryside Agri Centre. The donations include power sprayers, brush cutters, greenhouse plastic and shade nets.
We will ensure that we distribute it, hand it over mostly to small groups within the country areas so that they can benefit from this generous donation you are making.
Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Edgell on Thursday said Guyana's future is bright, with immense opportunities as the country is facing unprecedented growth. As a result, the minister is urging citizens to capitalize on these opportunities. He made the call during an address at Seavon's Waste Management ISO 9001 2015 presentation ceremony.
Guyana's future is unbelievably bright. Unbelievably. I don't think some of us who sit here today really have a grasp of how bright that future is. The impact of it is only realized when you travel and you are sought after by people who never even wanted to hear about Guyana. They're looking for opportunities to come.
The Ministry of Health is currently verifying and reconciling its COVID-19 vaccination data for proper records keeping and management. This was disclosed by Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, during the daily COVID-19 update on Thursday.
We are collecting data from a number of sites. At the peak of our vaccination program, we had probably about 120 different sites. And when the data come in and we aggregate it, sometimes they can be duplications. So we're now working that through to make sure that we don't have any duplications. So cleaning the data is a very important exercise. And while we are cleaning the data, we are also digitalizing it.
Vaccine cards are required for entry into public buildings for travel and other purposes. In recent times, the authorities have seen several cases of forgery. But Minister Anthony says with the new system, forgery will be more easily detected. Meanwhile, Dr. Anthony says strides have been made in treating people with kidney illnesses locally.
One of the things in Guyana that we have been able to do over the years is to provide dialysis services. And more recently, the government has announced that we would be giving assistance to dialysis patients so that they can get about $600,000 to assist them with their dialysis. So I think that has been a very positive measure for a lot of dialysis patients who would have otherwise had difficulty accessing this type of service.
The transplant bill recently passed in the National Assembly would also allow for the setting up of an agency for a donor and patient registry to facilitate transplants. Guyana and the European Union have agreed on a detailed roadmap for implementing the Ghana-EU Forest Law Enforcement Governance and Trade Voluntary Partnership Agreement, VPA, which aims to improve forest governance and verify the trade in legal timber. The aid memoir was signed on Thursday by Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Bharat and Ambassador of the European Union to Ghana, Fernando Ponce Canto, after a meeting with various stakeholders.
In no way the FLED VPA or the low carbon development strategy that is in the consultative process right now is speaking towards reduction in forest activities, reduction in harvesting of wood or the production of wood products. What it speaks to directly is the sustainability of it, as was mentioned by Ambassador, how inclusive the process is, and also, and importantly, how legal the operation or the products are.
Minister Bharat made it clear that this agreement in no way means that the country is cutting down on forest activities, but ensuring that it is done in a sustainable legal manner. Meanwhile, the EU ambassador noted that follow-up is important and the VPA could be signed by September. Citizens across the country are being urged to register with the National Job Bank online to be gainfully employed. The website was officially launched on Friday at the Ministry of Labour's boardroom. In brief remarks, Minister Joseph Hamilton said this initiative aids in fulfilling government's commitment to providing 50,000 jobs for citizens. He says this is also a great avenue for those trained with the Board of Industrial Training.
The Board of Industrial Training and CRMA, they actually are twins here because they have to work together and collaborate, because it's not just the training, it is finding a medium to ensure that people can find a job. And that is why this job bank is important. So to us and to the nation as it develops.
The minister says there is no fee attached to registering with the online job bank. He said moving forward, the ministry plans on partnering with employment agencies to increase persons' chances of employment.
We are working on a registration form. We're seeking legal guidance in that regard because we want all employment agencies operating in this space to be registered and regulated by the Central Recruitment and Manpower Agency. It's not a free-for-all. We will not allow a free-for-all. So that is the first issue. Secondly, we will give latitude to the employment agencies operating in this space to utilize the job bank, but it will have to be done within a framework.
On this platform, job seekers will be able to interact with a prospective employer without the intervention of a third party. Persons can log on to jobs.gov't.gy and get registered. That's it for this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related information, do log on to our website, dpi.gov.gy, and our social media platforms as well. Goodbye.